Hey, everybody. Well, I just want to share with you how honored I am to be on stage with you tonight. I am a little tiny nervous, so you can pray for me. But I'd like to share with you my 31 journey. And as Sherry said, it all started for me back in November 2004. I worked at an insurance company called Unum. Some of you may have heard of it. It's also where Cindy worked at the time. But I decided, went down to see my sister for lunch. I went down to see her, wanted to see what she wanted to have for lunch that day. And there on her desk was this catalog. And it was a 31 catalog. And I was like, hey, Wendy, what is this? And she was just like, oh, Keith's wife has been asking me to have a party, and I just don't know if I want to, And I said, well, it's really cute. We should have a party. So Wendy decides to book a party, and I, of course, love everything there, so I, of course, have to book my own party. So I decided to book a party, and my my consultant's name was Dawn Cleveland. And so I booked a party with her and worked on my outside orders. I had $800 in outside orders. And at the home show, I had $400. So I had a $1,200 party with her. And so when I sat down with her that night, and she started talking to me about the commission plan, and I realized she'd just made $300 off of me for doing all this hard work. And I was like, gosh, that should be my paycheck, that should be my money. So I decided to sign up with her that night, and that was February 2005. And I thought this would just be a really great way for my husband and I to make some extra money. We'd been married for a little over a year, and he was back and forth out of town with his job. And so I thought this would be a really great way for me to make my car payment. We all know that when newlyweds, you don't have very much spending money. Things are tight. So this was a great way for me to have something to do while he was out of town, something to have fun with, but also to help pay the bills. So that's how I got started. My goal was 3 parties a month. I thought if I can make $300 a month, when I leave this house, I'm going to make $100. Okay, that was my goal. $400 party, 3 times a month. That's my car payment. So that's how I got started. That was my initial goal. But in the back of my mind, I thought, how cool would this be to be a long-term goal of being a stay-at-home mom? I'm one of 5 children. And so as a child, my parents had to work very, very hard, working 2 jobs. My mom would go to work at my grandmother's restaurant in the mornings, go home and get a little nap, and then she'd go work 12-hour shifts at the local carpet mill. And so she missed out on a lot of stuff. I knew I did not want that for my children someday. So my parents missed out on a lot of stuff. I played sports. And so I was always so jealous of those moms after school who were sitting out here waiting on their children, taking them to their ball games, to their school plays, things like that. I always had to ride with those parents. And so I was so jealous. And so my goal was that one day I knew I wanted to be home with my children. I wanted to be home where I could go to all those events. And so 31 has allowed me to do that. I had my first son in September of 2006. His name's Walker. And I went back to work at the insurance company on his 4-month birthday, and I, of course, cried like I am now. I cried like a baby because I was so jealous of my mother-in-law. She was at home making memories with my baby. And so I sat down with my husband, and I was like, Justin, I'm making the same amount of money with 31 as I am here at Unum. I think it's a great opportunity for me to stay home with him, and so we both looked at all of our finances and everything, and we knew it would be more money for me to stay at Unum. We'd be able to go do more things, we'd be able to pay bills off quicker and things like that, but I wouldn't be home with my baby. So we agreed that it would be the best thing for our family for me to stay home. And so I went back to work, like I said, on his 4-month birthday. I gave my 2-week notice, and I have been home with him ever since then. And I now have a second son. His name is Easton. He turned 3 in May, and Walker's now 6. He'll be 7 in September. And so I feel like my parents, by having those hardworking parents, they instilled in me the hard work ethics. I'm not going to say I haven't got here from working hard and everything, but 31 has blessed me to be home and to live my dream that I've had since a little girl, is to be home with my children. And so in closing, I wanted to share with you one of my favorite scriptures. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Tonight's not about me, it's about you and all of your accomplishments, and I can't wait to celebrate with you tonight. Thank you.